Hello and welcome to Homestead Imaginations. I am Josh, and today we're going to be going over my strawberry patch and how well it did over the winter. I did not get to everything I wanted to get to in the fall of wrapping everything up. As you can see here, there's a lot of exposed soil. I did not get these mulched and covered as well as I had wanted, and I was definitely worried that they might not survive because of the winter and needing to mulch from different videos I've seen online and read. Now, we only had a couple weeks this winter of being like very cold, like below zero. For the most part, this was a very mild winter for us here in upstate New York, 5A grow zone. So like this one, like a lot of the stuff even got blown off. Like there was more here. I at least had all the soil covered, but some of it got blown off with like the grass clippings, and then this was just like dead growth in the back field. And I thought this would be a good idea because it's hollow, so like it should do well, like kind of like straw. And I used this to mulch, which was a horrible idea. This bed's not too bad, but I'll show you one of the other ones where I've been trying to slowly clean it out, but it came with a lot of seeds. But these are all offshoots. I did not have any of these beds starting last year. I had different strawberries in a kiddie pool that weren't doing very well because it wasn't deep enough. It wasn't a good place for it to have strawberries. So if you're ever thinking about growing strawberries in a kiddie pool, they're just not deep enough. The roots won't be able to grow well enough to give you good, hardy, decent size fruit. The fruit that we got out of that were always super small. The strawberries that grew in the stones from the previous video, they did better than the ones in the kiddie pool. And they're the same kind. They're the same variety. They're just runners. So last year I took all these runners. So these are all brand new plants from runners. All four of these beds here, all four of those. That one's brand new this year. I'll go over that in a second. These four beds are a June bearing variety of strawberry, and I'll put that in the comments because I don't remember. It starts with a Q. I don't remember the name offhand. So these are all brand new, and like this was the first one. That was the second one I did. That was the third one I did. So these, and then that was the fourth. So these, as we went, were even smaller and smaller plants, like for starts. Like they didn't even have much time to like even develop into like a plant last year and really do well. So I was worried about also the age of them, but here's a good example of why not to just grab random things in your field that you think might be straw. Look at all that, like, and this isn't even that bad. Like there was clumps of it that were so thick, like it was like touching like carpet. It was so bad. And like, I mean, this is not great, but I still got to go through and actually weed this out fully, and get the beds back to a good state. But I won't be using this kind of stuff again. I will either just use grass clippings like I do, because I don't spray anything on my lawn. I don't do anything for weed or any kind of pest control or nothing. No sprays whatsoever on the property, so I can use my grass clippings. So you just need to be careful of that if you want to use that. But I'll also be just buying straw. Like I don't want this to happen because now I'm going to be spending an hour. I spent a decent amount of time trying to de-weed these, but as you can see, I didn't put a lot of mulch on this and they all survived. Granted, this was a very light winter. It did not get very cold, and I am in a 5A grow zone, but just for reference, like I've seen videos where it's like you got a layer like 6 inches thick of like straw. Apparently you don't. Like it just, these did well, and who knows how cold that they could sustain and be all right. But at least these survived. I will still mulch next year. I just won't go crazy with it. I'll make sure everything's covered. I might even put like a covering on top of these. I've got a bunch of fabric, like this fabric that I'm using here, to try and prevent weeds from growing into the beds until I can basically map this whole area, everything around my gardens and stuff, with like actual weed fabric and then get stones in. That'll be probably another couple years before I get to that project. Right now it's about function, then I'll worry about design later. This is a new one. I just got this one in. Again, I'll put this in the comments of or the description of the video what this strawberry is. I just got it in this year. Just planted it not too long ago. It survived the trip and the transplant, so that's awesome. But this is an ever-bearing variety of strawberry. So I will then let it propagate and take the runners and fill this bed. And my goal is to have 4 beds of each. So I'll eventually take all that and then probably take its runners, put a 4th bed here, take those all out of that, and then move them over that way eventually, and then make it like 1 row of ever-bearing and then 1 row of June-bearing. For now, I'm thinking at least 4 beds of each. The kids and the whole family absolutely love strawberries, so we weren't able to get enough last year. Last year I think we had like 5 plants, and right now we have around like 60, I think I counted last year, and it looks like pretty much all of them survived. So we should have about 60 strawberry plants. So in higher raised beds than what we had before, better soil, so everything should be growing really well. We should have a really good strawberry harvest. But just wanted to show an update on how these strawberries did through the winter and how they survived, and how I unfortunately did a really bad job of preserving them and mulching to give them the proper protection. But like I said, it ended up not being needed. They all survived. They're all doing well. I just got to do some weeding because I used the bad stuff to mulch. But yeah, very excited for this year. Huge growth this year for what I'm trying to accomplish and what we're going to be growing this year compared to last year. I'll be doing a follow-up video, doing a whole tour once the last shipment of trees come in. So all right, that's enough for this one. Thank you for watching. Let me know how your strawberries did over winter. Did you lose any? What have you found for mulching? Do you think it's absolutely necessary? Have you gotten away from doing heavy mulch or mulching at all? Let me know what you've done and what works for you and what grow zone you're in. But thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Keep the imagination rolling. Take care. Bye-bye.